Segment 5 of 7. White privilege and fragility. This is a tough one, and I'll confess, this is another area that used to greatly upset me, right? When I would be told that I have some kind of privilege, and my reaction that just welled up within me was to reach right back out at that individual, not physically, and tell them, I work for my pay. I always have. I out of high school, went to the Marines, and if you think that's an environment where you're just privileged and given everything, please go enlist. I welcome you. I got it there. I got a job, and I've worked in many cases tirelessly, and I'm not alone in this. This is common, right? And so when it would be said that I had white privilege, it just it was a burr into my saddle. I'm not privileged. I've worked for everything I've got. But here's one of those things where if we just back up a second, and again, people can mean varying things, and there are some people who use this term in a very detrimental, unhelpful, hateful way, in a way to excuse themselves or whatever, and just accuse at others. But let me just say, I absolutely have white privilege. In fact, that's only a part of the privilege that I have. Okay? I'm privileged to have been born when I was born. And if you don't think you were, please read history. This is currently a very troubling time, but still overall a great time to live for a variety of reasons. I am so privileged to have been born in the 20th and now in the 21st century. I am privileged to have been born where I was born. I am so thankful for all of our faults to be an American. And again, if you don't think you're privileged to be in America, make friends and have discussions with people who were born elsewhere. That won't last long. I am so privileged to have been born in America, in the community in which I was born. I'm so privileged to have been born to the people to whom I was born, to my parents, who were a loving couple, a loving Christian couple who stayed together, who, my extended family was present and loving and supportive. And you know what? Everything that I've said so far, there are a great many people in this world who cannot say that. And so, of course I am privileged. And again, my dad worked hard, multiple jobs sometimes when I was young, to provide for us. So it's not that things were handed to him, but I inherited this privilege because I was loved and cared for and provided for in ways a lot of people haven't been or aren't being today. Of course I'm privileged. My number one, most central, most fundamental identity is as Christian. I challenge you, brother or sister. Do you really want to deny privilege? Our standing in Christ is only by grace. So if I think about any area of my life, I'm crazy privileged. And if I stop and I actually listen to the people in my life of various colors, of mixed colors, of whatever, I haven't had to deal with what they've had to deal with. No, I certainly haven't known any slaves. Don't even throw that up. Just be honest and listen. I have not had to apologize or explain my ethnicity. I have not had to endure the lingering, and if you don't think they're lingering, maybe you missed my second segment today. I've not had to endure that. Why? Because I look different. That is privilege. It's nothing to be ashamed of. It doesn't mean that I don't still have to work for my pay. And it certainly doesn't mean that my pay is taking bread out of somebody else's mouth. We're all responsible to do for our own and to help each other. But I'd be ignorant at best and lying at worst if I didn't say I was privileged. Now, one of the greatest reasons I think that we deny privilege or other things is because we, talking to you white people, we are not accustomed to thinking of us as a part of a group. In fact, I have often said, no, I'm an individual, right? Why do you talk about me as a group? We've had that luxury. That's a part of privilege, honest, and that's an honest assessment. We are fragile. I read a book called Fragility. I do not agree with everything that's in the book, but it challenged me in ways and asked some questions that needed to be asked, and so I recommend it, and a number of others. I've booked recommendations. But we're so offended to talk about it. Why? Maybe we could just be honest. I'm absolutely privileged. I'm thankful to be privileged. I wish more people had as much privilege as I have.